crunchy. xíu vậy đó.
All right.
Cheers. I can start my work now. Hả?
Bớt lửa xuống con thôi.
Bớt lại hả? Ok.
Sôi kiểu này
Nè.
hả, đồ hư hết trơn.
Miếng thịt
Tôm đâu, tôm đâu? Cô gấp tôm lên cái tôm nó hả?
Day two. Day two done?
Two is done.
Alright.
This is fancy. Hi. I'm good. This is fancy. Wow, my kitchen just upgrade. Annie.
Nice to meet you, Andy.
Nice to meet you. Hi, and over there.
I'm Lynn. Very nice to
Hi,
meet you.
nice to meet you too. So I. roasted. But if you have roasted bone, let's say that after Thanksgiving, you have your turkey left, you actually can do this. Out of 10 liters of soup like this, I probably use about max is this, or you can just use about this much. Compared to the regular one. The regular one is less spicy, the flavor is less compared to organic one. You're just gonna get all the flavor from it, but try to avoid to not to let them burn too much. We actually take all the bone, everything out. That's when we actually put the rest of the herbs. Time, the toilet is really far away, all the way at the corner of the garden. So when I say corner, so I'm here, the toilet probably at the end of the building. That's really far. So even I yell, my mom won't hear me. So my mom would cook in a pot of soup, and my two little brother down here. So basically the kitchen there is about probably not this high, but high enough that my brother cannot climb up. They were like 2-3 years old and I was 6. So basically I actually climb up and I just like swat and sit right there to watching the soup. And my brother like, no, I'm hungry. I'm like, fine, okay. I thought I'm big enough that I can carry the pot. I don't know how heavy the pot for me at that time, but it was hot and it was heavy enough that I actually go all the way. So it's here, the scar I still have, and it go all over. And because we were really poor, super poor, my mom actually ended up using banana leaf just to cool me down. So we didn't go to hospital or anything like that. But do I remember the pain? No. I remember the incident. I remember the taste. I remember that my brother calling me that they're hungry. That's all I remember. I remember that my mom was so far away. I couldn't call her. And nowadays I become a chef. But the thing is, it doesn't scare me. And actually, before you guys came, I actually got burned a bit right here. Because this one, it was right here too close. And I would completely have no idea. And I wrap it. But that's what happened when you cook. When you actually, like almost you play with fire every day. And sometimes it happens. And I hope that sometimes it burns a bit. It doesn't mean that you're gonna stop, right? So if you have inner passion and either by joy or by force, but the end of the day, that I be able to cook a beautiful, delicious meal. So I think that's the most matter to me, and I'm continue. I never go to school for cooking. I went to George Brown, but for fashion designer. And I did not become a fashion designer. And I switched to fashion management, but I not enough in fashion field at all. I worked for restaurants since I was 17 years old. So today I'm 37. So I started to cook when I was 5, and I started working for many restaurants, when I turned 17 until now. And I opened my restaurant 8 years ago. And I got trained by my mom, my auntie, my grandma, which is the love of my life. I learned gardening and cooking firstly from her, my grandma. And then my mom recently showed me how to cook the last more than 10 years. But I have my grandma, I have my auntie. Because at that time, we moved a lot. So I have a chance to learn from different people, from different places. I think it's lucky that I actually went through a lot with those experiences because it gives me a chance to learn. And here I am. So that's the story of my cooking. This is not exact the brand that I'm using at the restaurant, but the quality is similar. And Longo have them right here. So I already soaked them in here in cold water. You have to soak them in cold water at least an hour to 2 hours before you use it. Vietnamese sauce. It's almost like every Vietnamese dish, we actually have fish sauce in it. We marinate meat with fish sauce. With fish sauce. All the soup have a little bit of fish sauce. Or stir fry, like you name it. We just like the taste of it. So this is for a soup, but you can put this if you like chai. Their flavor is strong too. Okay. You put right on top first.
Okay.
Yeah. No, make that. That's fine. So because you wanna lock it in, right?
So like, okay,
Then
yes.
now you start to roll. Press them down and roll. Press them down and roll. Press it down and roll.
Jen, do you want me to take a picture of you?
And don't forget to come to my restaurant.
ổi.
So Let's go. Oh, this is, oh, look at that.
So we plant, we grow, and we harvest 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay.
So you are looking at the. Yeah.
It's ready to pick. We're gonna pick some cucumber today.
You can see some cucumbers are ready to harvest, and
Yes.
then some are growing. So we harvest every day.
Every day.
Yeah, and then as soon as we harvest the bottom, the top will continue
Yes.
growing.
Oh.
And then every week we harvest, or every day we harvest a little bit at a time. We try to be as efficient as we can, and we are always learning to conserve what we can as well. Yeah.
Look, it's just like so much.
Yeah. When you leave, we're gonna have two boxes for you, so you can take it home and try it out yourself.
Oh, absolutely. That's.
Yeah.
I want to harvest
Hello.
myself. Hi, sir.
See, these are considered tier 1 cucumbers.
Tier 1. What
Yeah, so it means that the big supermarkets will only take tier 1 or tier A. So if it's slightly bent, then they won't take it.
Oh, so it have to be like straight.
Yes,
A
it has to
straight-
look good for
It has to
the
look for
tier
the
1
supermarket.
supermarkets. Yep.
Oh, okay. For example, like this one, you just gonna
Yes, the supermarkets will not take
take
this
this,
one.
and what you gonna do with this
So
one?
that's the tragic thing about selling to big supermarkets.
Yes.
That we have to
Can you sell it to source some of the, like more like local supermarket?
we can and we try. It's just that we are a big production facility. So if you were to buy the tier 2 or tier 3,
Mm-hmm.
you have to buy a big amount to be worth it. It's that's a lot of waste.
Yes,
with
it
this
is.
one. Yeah, yeah.
When I go, I actually do know a few supplier.
Right.
Maybe I'm gonna connect them with you guys.
Absolutely.
What they
yeah.
do, because when they give me the cucumber, it not all of them is the tier 1, like the straight and
Right, right.
beautiful one. They actually have 2 type of cucumber that they ask me to select. The one actually banned is cheaper.
Right.
So
right,
now I know
right.
instead. So maybe someone like that can help to come,
Absolutely.
right, and get some, because they also supply for many restaurants, not just myself, but so many other restaurants.
Yep.
Maybe someone like that will help
That'd
you.
be great.
There you
and
go.
I can assure you that the tier 2 or tier 3 tastes the same as the tier 1.
Exactly, of course. It's the
just that
same.
it
It's
just
just not that straight
doesn't
and
look
perfect.
that pretty. Right.
With some salt.
So once the cucumber goes in,
Yeah.
they will be sorted and they will place in these boxes.
Yes.
So you can see that it's sunset.
Sunset. Yeah.
And then all of these boxes will be filled by this week, and then new boxes will come in,
Oh,
and then we do over again. So all of these boxes will get filled,
Yes.
and then it will go out to all the supermarkets in Ontario.
Ooh, this is massive.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we have people here packing,
Yeah.
source. Do they have to source them out again?
Oh no, the pickers
Already
will
sourced.
pick the tier 1.
Oh, okay.
And then they will pass the tier 1 cucumbers down this line, and then the packagers will simply wrap it in that
In the
plastic,
yes.
and then put into the boxes for
Boxes.
sunset. Yeah. As we can. So we actually collect the rainwater in the back,
Oh, cool.
and then we have to filter the rainwater. Thanks for coming. It's,
Oh,
I know
thank you.
it's quite far.
No, it's worth it because this is great experiences. A lot of people doesn't know how it is,
Right?
right? To really to run a farm or to what exactly what's going on in the farm.
Right.
People want to know like the food, where coming from, and how we grow them, and mostly customer they want to see that,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But I think this is a great way to show people that's how cucumber grow. All right. Ta-da! Hi, Shiana.
Hi, how are you? Me too. Sorry, my hands are cold.
Oh,
We
that's
only
right,
have cold
that's right.
water here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got it all set up that we can create a bowl together.
Oh my God. This I have in mind. I want to create so many things.
I hear that
I
all
have an
day.
idea, so many things. But I love like arrange flowers, so of course a vase in mind. But I also have like a lot of collection of sauce that I want to have a little dish
Okay.
that you know I can put the sauce out.
Yeah, so little ramekins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also like have specialty a lot about like noodle soup, right? So I want to make a big bowl for that.
Yeah.
beautiful noodle.
Too.
Oh,
So,
so you can do put the chopsticks right here.
yeah, so it works not with just chopsticks, but also forks for people that can't use chopsticks. This is way too big for you, so to start with. So we're going to start with kneading the clay.
Okay.
So it's actually called wedging.
So you have to tie my hair up.
Yes, that's a good idea. So you're using this part of your hand,
Okay.
and then you flip it up and you push it down, but you don't really push it all the way down because you want it to be a boat, okay? You want it to be able to rock, okay? And you flip it up on its side and you push it back down and out. And then flip it back on its side, down and out. So if you're doing it right, you'll have a little ram's head. Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Oh, I think my daughter would love this.
Make it more or less round.
Okay.
Now smack them on the table. Yeah, we make noise in this place. The center, and then toss it down.
Just like that.
Yeah, so you look at the center and you toss it as you're looking at the center.
Okay.
And then you're more or less centered. So the first step is to get a little bit of water on it, and you cup it in between your hands. So I call it yurting, to make a yurt. This is the first step, just to kind of bring it into center a little bit.
Okay.
And then the next step is to put your elbow into your leg to support and push down and push with this with your leg. You'll notice all my strength is actually in my leg.
Okay.
And you go up and down, and use as much water as you want, okay?
Okay.
Hold and slowly let go. And that is your centered piece.
Okay.
Okay? Middle and 2 fingers on top, and you push into the center to make your hole, okay? So keep your finger flat inside this cone and push your whole flat finger out to make keep that nice slope. And you're gonna cup that in to keep that going a little bit more up, because cylindrical force will pull your rim out. So we want to make it go up before we go out.
There you go, finish. Oh my gosh, you make it so easy.
Yeah. And then we go out into a nice bowl.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh.
Just bring that rim out for a nice rim. And you always want to do a swirl in the middle to show that maker's mark. I'll walk you through it. Don't worry.
Oh my. Oh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
Okay. So I just wanna feel this one first.
Yep. It's like you're driving foot.
Okay.
And toss it down. Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right.
It's on there?
Save that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so take your sponge and wet it. Yep.
Wet it first.
And then turn it on almost full blast.
More.
More? More? There you go. Okay,
Okay.
yurt.
Can I?
Yep. I'll do your water.
Oh, so hold them really tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's okay. A little bit came off. That's all right. Great.
All right.
Good yurt. I love it. Right. Right fist on top.
Like
Yep.
this?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Like this.
yep. And push
Okay.
and pull. And you've almost got it centered actually. Good job. Okay, slowly take your hands away. And look, it's centered. Ah, I got it centered. Good job. That is probably the fastest I've ever gotten someone to center. I'm serious.
You were helping me. Okay.
Okay, so you want to make your hole. Yeah, and support your finger with these fingers.
Okay. Just brush them down.
Yeah, push down.
I should cut my nail.
Yeah, but that's okay. Or you hit the bottom.
Yeah.
Just gonna hit some clay. Then we're going to give it a hug in.
Okay.
Good stuff. So we're going to fill her up.
Got it.
Yeah. And we're going to grab with our middle finger and thumb, and we're going to pull that
Middle finger and thumb. Okay.
straight up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This is your strength.
So I pushed it down.
Yeah. So we'll do it together.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Okay. And yeah, there's your bowl. Take out the water. It's a great little bowl.
Yay! Oh my God! This for Anna's birthday. My daughter.
I keep it for you, and you
Okay.
get to choose what color you want it, okay?
She loves pink. I told Pablo that I love to have a little collection
Yeah.
for the restaurant. Like I mentioned about the small plates, small dish, deep in dishes.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Let's cook. Let's go. want to know about your story, how you guys started, how you guys grow it,
Right.
everything. So people, I just want everyone to know exactly when you eat the food, where it's coming from, and the story behind it.
Love it.
I have my own restaurant,
Okay.
and every food, every dish that I make, I'm really proud of it. But I want people to, have a little bit of knowledge about where the food coming from.
Yes.
And I think every single farmer deserves to be heard.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, especially I find that we don't have enough people, especially young generation, we don't have enough to continue doing this. But it's amazing. It's maybe because they don't find the passion of it. But farming is a real and the most important job.
None of us would be eating, right?
Exactly, yes. That's where we get the food. And how do we deliver the message to the next generation? How to let them know how important it is.
That is really important.
Yeah, and I feel, especially like me, myself, I have 3 children. I have a little backyard garden that I grow almost everything that I can. Every year I just changing it because I want to show my kids, that fruit, that vegetable, how it's grow, right?
Right.
I want them to learn and appreciate everything they have,
Right.
all the food they eat, because I believe whatever you eat, those food is become part of you.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Right.
It become you, become your blood, your bone, everything of you.
A lot of what we do here at Westfields is really about that. So when we have our kids come for school programs, our one program down on the farm, the kids come here and they learn a lot about early farming techniques. So what would have been like for a family here, early 1800s, and how would they feed their family? And a lot of that, of course, through farming.
Yeah.
What kind of tools would they have to do that? What were the conditions of the environment and the climate? What could they do to sustain their own family? And what would the roles be in the family? So what would the kids have to do? And what would the parents, and how do they work that out together as a family? So that's a big part of what we do at Westfield is around
amazing.
food education.
Oh, now I feel so glad to be here then.
And a lot of our programming as well, like for our public programming, is around food. So
Yeah.
we have a really great collection of old cookbooks, so archival cookbooks. So
You guys have any class to teach people how to cook as well?
we have in the past. That could be something we start doing again. But our volunteers, a lot of them are really amazing cooks, and they're always learning. So sometimes we use our archival cookbooks as a starting place for their cooking. So
Absolutely.
we have several of our houses have wood stoves or open hearths. We sometimes use the outdoor fires.
Yes.
So they use these old recipes to kind of recreate the foods that people would have been making and eating at the different time periods that we represent. And when we can, they can use ingredients that come from our property. So if we have vegetables growing in the gardens, or
Oh, nice.
just kind of called the 100-foot diet.
Hi, Brian. I'm good. Annie,
Hi, I'm Brian.
nice to meet you.
What's happening today?
I just want to learn a little bit more about how can we get that delicious
Syrup.
Syrup.
Maple syrup.
Yes.
Very good.
so I can introduce that to my viewer in my channel.
Yes.
I'm the owner of a Vietnamese restaurant, and my purpose in my channel is just introduce as many farmers as possible around locally to everyone, so people will have a better idea. This food coming from this place and how they grow it, how they harvest them, how they produce it.
Yeah. How neat is that? That's the best way to eat, is know where food comes from.
Exactly.
And have the character that you're eating, just an idea of what you're eating.
Yes.
The sugar is stored in the roots as a form of starch, and then the tree will shut down and go to sleep for the winter. And then all come the spring, when the tree starts to wake up, this is when the syrup starts, or the sap starts to move. Okay, so all that, because there's no leaves in the tree in the spring, the has to get some source of energy somewhere. So the tree has done this by storing all that sugar and starch. So now what happens is the starch is then converted back, in the spring converted back to sugar. And then the sugar is then, another equation goes on with that, but it runs through the tree. And then what we do is we harvest that sugar. Okay, that's converted back to from starch to sugar. And what particular happens with the sugar maple is there's gases in the sap itself, and what happens is it is energized or pressurizes when the sun hits it. So if you look at the trees out here, all our buckets are facing towards the southeast. So when the sun comes out, we got a nice warm sun hitting that tree, pressurizing those gases. They expand. When we put a spile in there, the pressure pushes that sap out and we get our sap flowing. Okay? Now at nighttime, we need that cold freeze cycle, and those gases will constrict, sucking up more water. More water will mix with the starch converts to sugar, and the process repeats itself. Throughout the day, and maybe a little more depending on the size of the tree, and then we'll harvest that. And we'll need 8 of these to produce 1 liter of maple syrup. So that's a lot. This is that's a 5 liter, so we'll need 8 of them. That's 40 liters to 1 liter of maple syrup. So yeah, so
every single drop is capped.
oh, it's precious, yeah.
It's precious.
It's precious.
So from now on, when we eat that pancake and have that
Syrup on there, enjoy it, first
yes,
of all.
every
And
single drop.
yeah, and I always say have waffles because it carries more, there's more holes for maple syrup, okay? So make sure you serve waffles at the restaurant, okay? And I'll come there and have your fresh maple syrup.
We actually have waffle this morning.
Oh, did you? Oh, very good, very
We
good.
make some. Usually we always make either pancake or waffle or make cream.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And they run out of like syrup content.
Oh, that's good. See, the good maple syrup from this tree is very healthy for you. Lots of vitamins, antioxidants. So I always tell the kids have a second helping because it's so healtty for you as well. So.
But isn't it too much? It's not good. How
Too much? Yeah, too much can be not good, I guess. Yeah. It's not like my mother. You know? You know, if you have too much of that, you won't like it.
My kid, she will just like go all the way, especially my son. Like, I'm like, you're not eating soup, you know?
Yeah,
But
I
you're
know.
just gonna pour so much, and then I'm like, I always have to like clean his place.
Yeah.
So I will be the one that
Just
clean
get a
the
little
place.
bit. Yeah,
Because I feel so wasted.
I know. Get down how long it takes.
Yes,
That-
and
so
now
it can
it's
be-
like take like 40 liters to get
It's
1 liter.
1 liter. Yeah. So it's a lot. There's only 2 to 3% sugar in the syrup or the sap. So you're really boiling down a lot of water. So when you get that tree cycling, all that water from the ground is being pushed up and mixed in with that starch.
Now it reminds me. So my auntie used to have a sugar cane farm.
A sugar cane farm.
Yes, and she makes sugar year for year. I just oh, see, that's
Just
real.
what you're talking about.
It's just beautiful. Hi there.
Everyone,
I'm
this is
here
Amy.
to learn something new.
This is Peter.
Hi, Peter. Oh, yes, sir.
Hi.
Yes.
So what's going on right now in the springtime, the trees out there, the maple trees,
Yes.
are collecting water from the melting snow underground with the roots, and they're pulling that water up through their body. And as it comes up through their body, they're mixing it with sugar that they made last year.
From last year, yes.
And that turns that water into sap.
Just like that.
Just like that. Looks like water.
Yeah.
But if you shake it, it makes some bubbles because it's got organic material in it. Sugar, cellulose, lignin, other
And
organic
I heard that I can just drink it.
You can, if it's fresh from the tree,
Oh,
you
okay.
can drink it. If it's been out of the tree for 24 hours, be very
No.
careful.
Okay.
Bacteria love this and will grow in there very fast, and then you get a terrible stomach ache.
Oh, I see.
So that's the sap from the tree. Now the sugar that's in there, that sugar is the food energy that makes the buds on the tree open up and turn into this year's leaves.
I see.
So all this sugar is to make those buds pop out and start to grow again, and it brings the tree out of dormancy, brings it back to life. That's what's going on with the sap. So when I drill a hole in the tree, I'm stealing a little bit of food out of the tree, but not so much. Not
Yes,
so much.
that's what I heard. Like you have to do that here. You do it every 2 years.
Yeah, I've
And
got
the
a
other,
rotation
yeah,
system.
rotate it so it not distress the tree.
Yeah. So now I'm going to take the sap, it's 2% sugar,
I heard that only 2% sugar in there.
and I'm going to boil away in a lot of the water until it turns 66% sugar. Big full of sap,
Yes.
we'll make one 500 milliliter bottle of maple syrup.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how long gonna take to boil?
It's probably every 18 hours of this machine boiling really hard, I get a big batch comes out. I'll get a pail and a half of maple syrup at once.
Oh wow.
Every 18 hours or boiling or so.
Well, that's a lot.
A pail and a half of this represents 4 barrels of sap. So I'm putting barrels in the back end and getting pails, little pails of maple syrup out the front end, and all the rest is steam.
Yes. Thank you.
Now in the front kettle here, this is where it's called the finishing kettle, and that's where it's going to turn into syrup. Right? Oh,
there you go.
Now it looks a little darker than it really is sitting in the ladle. It's a little lighter than that, but that's going to end up being 66% sugar.
No, but it smells so good.
Yeah. 2 scoops of sugar in 1 scoop of water. It's the most sugar you can put in before it starts to crystallize. At 66, you hit this perfect place where it's sterile and bacteria can't live in the maple syrup, but it stays a liquid and it doesn't crystallize. That's 66, and that's why syrup is 66.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not
like
very-
I said, it reminds me so much of my auntie farm
Oh, yeah.
sugar cane.
Oh yeah,
This smell.
yeah,
You can smell the sugar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And caramelizing sugar.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I used to eat. I just use the sugar cane, the
Yeah.
top, and I just, just deep into they call it young sugar
Yeah,
before they actually
yeah.
turn into hard. I love that.
We usually only tap ours every other year, so they actually have a marker on them. There's he calls them Team Orange and Team Green.
Oh.
So they have a turn every other year, so it gives them just a little break in between.
Okay.
But if there's any kind of stress, have you looked into what are the
Yeah, I
buckets?
have to look into it.
I'm not sure how they've been recently emptied. But
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Look, they do have stuff. Is it like just water?
it looks like water.
Yeah, it just looks like water. Because I thought it's actual syrup coming out. That's what I thought before.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm like, what?
And unfortunately, you both start with an S. So I was saying syrup. It is season. It depends again on the weather, the size of the tree, how long you're tapping. But generally, we estimate it to be about 40 liters per tree per season.
Okay, so that means that 40 liter,
That one tree will produce
that's
about,
only
all being
produce
well,
1
1
liter
liter of syrup.
of syrup.
Yeah.
Wow.
Provide samples to all our visitors. So
Yes.
the syrup that we make here is almost all
Yeah,
in a way, again, is samples.
Yes, that's what he just told
Yeah,
us.
and
That's
we
Peter
also-
just told us.
And then
So we have nothing left
not really
to sell. It's just only for samples.
That's right. And we also use it. I mentioned about our cooks in the kitchens.
Yeah.
In the houses. They have the maple tarts and maple baked beans. They made a maple loaf.
Yes.
Like a loaf bread. And we've had them. Let's see. There was a maple pudding another week. All different things from our archival
me.
cookbooks.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's nice. I have to have the cookbook though. Hello.
Hey.
May I come in?
We just visited the Sugar Shack, and
Yeah.
we were just walking by, and I mentioned your maple tart.
Look at that.
So there are a few that are on the toasty side because we were getting large amounts of people. And when you're
We're having fun.
30 people and you're talking to them, you forget that you have butter tarts in the oven. And
It happens. all the time.
The left side of the stove is really hot,
Oh, okay.
and the right side of the stove is perfect.
1900 recipe. I'm gonna try it. Sorry, Pablo. It's really good. It's not too sweet. It's light, buttery. Oh,
I don't believe you because I'm not.
it's okay. I don't need you to believe.
Would you like one? Would you like one?
Mmm. On top. And when you bake, there anything you bake right here?
So as you can see, this side's hotter.
Yes, I see.
So
That's
you have to keep turning.
you have to keep rotate them.
From the 1880s.
This is from the 1880s. When you build something, you know, quality, and you build it right, you build it beautiful, it lasts for generation after generation. That's why when you want to do something, do it right at first, and that will be history. Yeah? Oh, the general store?
Time, you know, chatting with the volunteers about what they're cooking or
Okay.
making.
Okay.
And you can sit down and learn a bit about
Oh,
the
absolutely.
recipes that they're
Oh,
using
yes.
and the ingredients and the methods. So, you know, I'd encourage you to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Spend
I
some
will.
time, talk
See.
about what we might be able to do together.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Great. And I'll definitely go onto your site and have a look at what
Oh,
you've
yes,
been
please.
up to.
Yes. So
I understand
mainly,
you have a setup in your backyard.
yes.
For your-
So I set up outdoor kitchen, and every year I spend every year I spend this and that, and make it more interesting, nicer. So that's why we start cooking usually by April, May, and we cook all the way to winter.